Meeting to order, please stand for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Trish.
Mrs. Brew?
Here.
Mr. Kramer? Here. Mr. Menegini?
Here.
Mr. Moraro?
Here.
Mrs. Steigerwald?
Here. Move on to the approval of the agenda. From the agenda that was sent out, we have consent to appoint city treasurer. That was added to the agenda. So with that addition, do I have a motion on the agenda?
Motion we approve the agenda.
Who was the support?
Brett?
Okay. Mr. Kramer? Yes. Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Mr. Moraro?
Yes.
Mrs. Steigerwald? Yes. Mrs. Brew?
Yes. Approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of October 1st, 2025. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion we approve the minutes for the regular meeting of October 1st, 2025.
Support.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Mr. Moraro?
Yes.
Mrs. Steigerwald?
Yes.
Mrs. Brew?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Approval of manifest 2025-20. Did you have any questions, Ricky?
No, I did not have any.
Brett?
I did not. Thank you.
Jeff, did you have any?
None, Madam Mayor.
No questions.
I have none either. So with that, do I have a motion on manifest 2025-20?
I'll make a motion to approve manifest 2025-20 in the amount of $960,202.83.
Support. And just to let folks know, the reason why it's high again this month is because of bond payments for hydro.
Mr. Moraro?
Yes.
Mrs. Steigerwald?
Yes.
Mrs. Brew?
Yes?
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Do we have any previous questions?
Councilman Kramer did have a question at that meeting, but it was resolved at that meeting.
Okay. Move on to public comments. Anyone in attendance wishing to address the council on any item of interest shall do so now at the podium. State your name and address for the record. Comments shall be limited to 3 minutes per person. Nothing? Anyone in attendance wishing to address the council on an agenda item only shall do so now at the podium. State your name and address for the record. Comments should be limited to 3 minutes. Before I move on to that, do we have a student? Yes? Well, welcome. And don't forget to have your agenda signed at the end of the meeting. And what's your name? Corey. Well, hi, Corey. Welcome to our meeting.
Is that your father sitting next to you? Yeah. Okay, just checking.
We kind of know him. Item number 1, recognition of service, Council Member Kramer. Presented in recognition to Brett Kramer. Congratulations on a dedicated tenure in service to the Norway community. Mr. Kramer has served the residents of the City of Norway as an elected official holding office November 20th, 2017 to October 15th, 2025. Mr. Kramer gave freely, generously his time, ability, knowledge by demonstrating passion and resolve for sound fiscal responsibility. He further demonstrated his comments to the city as an active member of Parks and Recreation and the Jake Mangini Museum. The City Council of the City of Norway wishes to extend its sincere thanks and appreciation of his dedication to the city and community and the operations of the City of Norway. I got the pleasure to serve with Brett the whole while he's been on here. Great member. We're going to miss him. Always willing to help out with city things, even if it was something out at the ballpark, just different things, and he's been a pleasure to serve with and just kind of remind the community. I know sometimes people forget, but when you dedicate your time to the city, you're giving up a lot of time. A lot of people think we just sit here, have a meeting twice a month, and that's all we do. There's a lot of time and dedication put into this position, and I want to say that I proudly have served with Brett Kramer.
Brett, good job, buddy. Enjoyed it.
It's been a pleasure, Brett.
And just so people also know, we don't just serve on this board. When you serve that long with people, Scott Pop a while ago, we've been here for a while, and their families become our families, and we care about each other very deeply.
Yeah, friends, for sure. Is this your last meeting? It is? You gonna step down before the election?
No, so the election is on
The 4th.
Tuesday?
Oh, this is our last meeting, October. Yeah, okay, because I missed it, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Enjoyed it, buddy. We've been 6 years together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Seems longer.
I appreciate all the support from.
It's gonna be for you.
here and the community. It's been an interesting road, but. a good road.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Thanks, Brett.
Love the fiscal responsibility, you know that.
Move on to action items, consent to appoint city treasurer.
So this has been a long process for us to get our new city treasurer in place. Sometimes things work out in different ways and for the best. So what we have for you tonight is our recommendation. Christina Mackey, she is the daughter of former auditor Scott Kenny. The committee that put together consisted of Councilwoman Steigerwald, the mayor, myself, and our former treasurer. And that is our recommendation. She did sign our offer for her to come work for us, and we're all very excited to have her come on board. We hope to have her here around November 10th. It seems to be her estimated timeframe. So we are looking for the council to approve our offer to Ms. Mack.
And I would just like to add to that, this hadn't been a process. As you guys know, there's been a lot of ups and downs. When we interviewed on Monday, I really felt confident. I felt that interview went good. I feel like she's going to be a really great fit, and I'm glad.
This
Yes,
being
and-
Christina?
I should say, she's
Yes.
in the audience.
Yeah, she is here. And I just felt really good about it, and so did our whole group.
We did.
So it's good to get somebody that we really wanted to get. And I had the pleasure of working with her father for
Yes,
years.
we have, yes.
With the audit and talking to him, and if she's even half the pleasure of her father, we made the right decision because he was a great guy.
Yeah.
Do I have a motion?
A motion, the city council gives consent to hiring of Christina Mackey as city treasurer.
Support?
Mrs. Steigerwald?
Yes.
Mrs. Brew?
Yes?
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Mr. Morado?
Yes, and thank God it's over.
And congratulations.
Yeah.
Welcome to the
Congratulations.
city of Norway.
Thank you.
Move on to Resolution 2025-19, CATV asset sale.
So, this is a resolution for the city council to approve the asset purchase agreement for our CATV system to Charter Communications. This is something that's been going on for 2 years. Started with a small team of Grant and I, and that it's grown to some more expertise. If we would have had that whole team together day one, this might have taken a little less time, but here we are today. So kind of to sum up what this deal is it is to sell our fiber optic network, which includes our cable TV, our VoIP, and our internet service. The current sale price for our system is $5 million. Currently, we are anticipating about $700,000 in escrow.
That's in dollars.
That's in dollars. So $700,000 in escrow that account for various possibilities that could come up down the road, different things that we aren't sure that run into indemnification, things of that nature. So we would receive 50% of that escrow in 13 months, and the remaining in 2 years, depending on if anything comes up that would be taken out of that. We don't really anticipate anything to be taken out of that escrow amount. The bond that has to be taken care of is not counted for this. That will be taken care of prior to this sale. That would be actually the absolute next step if this is approved tonight. We do have in these documents a franchise agreement with Charter, which is we receive 5% of their video revenue to our customers, only video, no VoIP or internet. If this goes through and we close, we anticipate closing anywhere from up to 90 days, and that's really predicated on getting the bond resolved. That could take much less time, but that was where our bond counsel originally put that timeline. When that happens, there are a few different things that we still need to work on. One, we will operate that system from anywhere from 6 to 9 months on Charter's behalf. The revenues go to Charter, the expenses we incur go to Charter. So during that, and that's once we close. Between closing and then, we have to finish up a transition services agreement, which outlines how we operate the system for them. We have a railroad crossing permits to get resolved. We have several lines that cross Canadian National that have been there since the 40s or earlier. Permitting may not have been part of that process back then. So to resolve that, we are required to obtain those permits or find some resolve or we're grandfathered in and then just being transferred. So that's one of those areas that we'll have to get done during those sometime after we close before the 60
Yeah,
days.
Mr. Manager, I would definitely amend the statement that we don't expect anything to come out of the retainage, because that is definitely going to come out of the retainage. Whatever happens with the railroad crossings will be our responsibility.
Yes, it will.
If they give it to them, great, but I'm saying there's a chance that we'll be, just so the public understands.
Yes, I guess I couldn't remember if the railroad was part of that escrow grant.
I believe,
No.
we're just responsible for that grant?
Yes.
Okay. But anyways, there will be, I'm just saying, there's going to be most likely
Yes,
some
there are some
fees,
costs.
more costs coming up, yeah.
Yeah, it's just not necessarily part of the escrow amount.
Gotcha.
Yes, it is going to be on ours.
Yeah.
So we have those various things that we will have to continue to take care of between now and closing and then shortly thereafter. So the resolution is to approve the asset purchase agreement to sell the system to Charter that then starts the timeline to get to close, which the first step would be working with our bond counsel, Steve Mann, to resolve the bond issue. And then from there, things should move fairly quickly, and then there'll be, again, 69 months of informing the public, the customer, how this works. And it's going to be a lot of work the whole way through.
Did you mention what we owe on the system? So the public knows?
The bond?
Yeah.
The bond, where it sits today, is somewhere around that $600,000 and $700,000.
Yeah, the one comment I would like to make, because people are gonna say, oh, you're getting all this money. But they also have to realize, these are the things we gotta do to get there. So the bottom line, the bottom number isn't gonna be what it says it's gonna be, because.
It's not going to be the sale price.
Correct.
Right, exactly.
That's
'cause
why we're
we
bringing
have-
up these things.
Just so people
Yeah.
understand.
At the end of the day, 3.54 million is what we, more likely might see in our bank account.
I would agree.
But
But that's, again, playing fast and loose with numbers a little bit, so let's
It is.
just,
Yep.
it is what it is. We'll let you know when it's all said and
Yep,
done.
and again, I think, as we stated from day one, the way this industry moves, we are not well equipped to do this. There are providers out there that I have a hard time competing with on a speed and cost ratio. So I think what customers are going to get out of this is more value for their dollar for what they're getting in internet and TV. You know, so the hope here is that everyone's going to make out on this deal.
And that's how the whole conversation started.
It is.
Correct.
You know, people just weren't getting the value of their dollar
Correct.
for their internet service and TV service.
Yeah.
That's how the whole
Yeah.
conversation started, and hopefully it pays out well, right? At the
Right.
end, that we do get the service that you're paying.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's hard to stay competitive, especially with the TV, because we got such little customers, and the networks keep going up month after month. And I mean, if you see the numbers, I don't have them in front of me right now, they're high. And so when you split that up with the number of customers we got, there's just not enough. That's why our TV kept continuing to go up.
Yep.
Yeah. We do not have the economy of scale to.
No.
Right, we don't have enough customers, so they're really taking the bulk of,
I worked in that industry for years and years, Candy, as you know, and it's not, the days of having municipally owned, you know, telecommunication systems are just, it's a thing of the past, right? It's,
a bigger company has to
yeah,
come in,
yeah.
but,
City Attorney Carlson, do you have anything to add?
Not to belabor it, I think echoing Councilman Mararo's comments, and frankly, the whole council itself, this started back with former city manager Anderson recognizing that a municipally owned utility like this, that's not a utility, it's a business within the city. The foresight of our predecessors, what, 50, 60, 70 years ago?
50s, in the 50s.
It's frankly incredible that our little community had a cable and telephone and internet system, a hydro system. We have our own garbage. We have our own water and sewer. It frankly, anytime it's mentioned amongst my peers in the municipal world, it's met with shock and surprise and respect. And we've competed, and our departmental heads and our employees have kept this going for years and years and years. And I've sat here for now about 8 to 9 years, I think. And it's been an ongoing struggle trying to keep costs under control for the community and for the citizens. The increasing cost of the cable is difficult, if not impossible, to keep up with. And the technology is moving at such a fast pace that our community has had a difficult time keeping up. And without significant investment, we were going to be left behind. And Councilman Mararo, I think your comments, you have some of the background in these types of systems. Having a municipality do something that private entities and private companies do on a huge scale, it's not impossible, but very, very difficult to keep up with. And one of the difficult things, and I think I chatted about it with one of the council members in preparation for today, the insight of the people that created this is amazing back in the day, but also the courage of knowing when to move
Say
on.
when.
Knowing when to say when. It's not easy. It's provided a service, but the comments of this council have been consistently, we're here for the citizens of the community and making sure they get a good, solid, reasonable service. And when you started to see some of the issues pop up, that we, frankly, Spectrum will be able to address. They'll be able to clean up. They will be able to provide that service. It puts you guys in a position of making this decision, which is not easy, but I commend.
Thanks.
As far as this agreement itself, kind of just bootstrapping on Mr. Stoltman, it's been a long time coming. Thankfully, the council had the foresight to bring on additional experts in the field. Mr. O'Day and I and Marquette got this thing started, but before long we recognized that this is a very, just like the city's position, very technical, very specific issues that thankfully we had the team to bring this over and work with Spectrum and finalize these details. Mr. Stoltman hit the high points. The sale price is $5 million. There is retainage of another $700,000, which represents a number of, I think as we call them, deliverables. There's There's going to be credits, there's going to be debits, there's going to be things that are going to go on. This is step one, or step two perhaps, of probably step 4 or 5. You guys are going to have additional agreements you're going to have to agree upon. We've been working on them already. Pole attachment agreements, franchise agreements, transition services agreements. This is step one of a very complex business sale that will get started with tonight's decision. We anticipate additional costs, as you can imagine, with this transition to make ready and to get things prepared for this transition. Things that we've identified that perhaps we didn't know about even in the past. Mr. Stillman referenced the railroad crossings. We are making sure that everything is done by the book and squared away and addressing some of these issues, and there'll be some costs involved, like we would imagine. So we're going to do everything we can to put as much money into the city's pockets as possible and retain as much of that money that is coming to the citizens and to this community as possible, representing the sale of this system that has been built, maintained, and paid for by the citizens of this community. So we'll do all we can. I anticipate, as Mr. Stoltman said, I think that Spectrum is very motivated to get this thing moving and to complete it. 90 days is the back end. We're hoping sooner, but we don't know. One other thing that came up, and I want to just address it very quickly before council makes this decision. One of the things that this council and Spectrum has commented on over and over again is making sure that the services to this community are provided consistently, reliably, and as you guys have mentioned, hopefully even a better service, if you will. There will be continued service for the citizens of Norway. People will not be left out with no internet. This is designed to be a very seamless, efficient crossover that will likely result in a different bill coming instead of the city of Norway. Mr. Murari, maybe even you can comment on that, but the design and the intention is to make sure that this is seamless, that customers and the citizens don't even know it. So any discussions, any rumors, or any representations by other entities within the community to the contrary are simply false.
Correct.
And frankly, an issue. But I want to be clear that this system is not turning off all of a sudden. It is not going under. This is an improvement. This is for the betterment of the community and the citizens, and you will not just lose your internet. You will simply have a different provider instead of the city of Norway. It will not just be turned off one day like some entities are representing within our community.
If I may, Mr. Carlson, quick, there are examples in the UP not far from here that certain municipalities decided to hang on to their systems and ended up selling them for $1. So when you're talking about 5 million versus 1, I think the council is making a good decision.
And I just want to say, because I have heard from people in the community to keep it, and I understand this hasn't been an easy decision for our council. We've been looking at this for years, and as people know, that this system needs to be upgraded. There's lots that has to be done, and if we've got to borrow that kind of money, our prices are going to be probably double of what they are right now. So, it was a decision that, we thought would fit the city better because of all the money that we'd have to put in. It just, it's hard because a lot of people, they think, oh, it's a service, but a lot of times you got to look at who's taking that service, and when you ain't got enough people in the times that it is now to keep up with all of this, the customers get hit hard because there's not enough to go around. So we just have,
Yes, Madam Mayor, and we're just scratching a few of the variables. We're not even talking about all the over-top offerings, YouTube TV. I mean, we're competing with so many huge entities right now, for that programming dollar. It's just not a place that a city of 3,000 people should be in.
if there's no other comments, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 25-19, approving the asset purchase agreement with schedules and authorizing continuing efforts leading to closing of the city's anticipated sale of its cable system to Spectrum America LLC.
Support.
Mrs. Brew?
Yes?
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Menini?
Yes.
Mr. Mararo?
Yes.
Mrs. Steigerwald?
Item number 3, Curry Road Water Main Financing. Dan?
So this is in reference to the water main that we had to relocate because we had a water main break that went through some private property and some wetlands, so we redirected it following Curry Road. At the time that happened, it was during the budget season, we allocated $200,000. Those bids came back at $494,000. So we knew at some point we were going to have to come up with a financing option beyond that 200. So we started the process to issue the bond, which is the 45-day referendum period, which has passed. We did not receive any notice to put it on a ballot. The other option was to take a loan out from within our own organization with a term sheet and a small interest rate, which would be from the electric department to the water department, but as a structured loan. So tonight is trying to determine what council would like to do as far as the financing option. My recommendation to the council is to do an official loan internally with some sort of interest rate. It may have to be more than 1%. It may have to be something on the grounds of what that money would be earning interest as it is currently.
Well, an RDA loan, excuse me, Dan, an RDA loan, I believe is 2%, correct? If we went to Rural Development Authority to get the money?
I'm not sure what they're at right
It
now.
depends.
It could be up. I just remember it used to be 2%. It might very well be higher now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you talk to the auditors about this? To make sure, is that okay to do that?
Yeah, no, I did not talk to them, but yeah, you can do an internal loan as long as it's a structured, actual loan with an interest rate and a schedule. They would be earning money on that loan, so it has to meet at least what they would be earning now in the market. It's a more cost-effective way generally than going out for a full
for
bond
sure.
for that amount of money. We're looking at, borrowings, $295,000. If it's an internal, probably in that 3 to 4 year repayment schedule. So this isn't, tonight, we aren't going to have, obviously, either of those options available. It's for the council to determine which route we want to take, and then we will either begin the process for the bond, or we will have a legal loan term sheet drawn up for an internal borrow.
One thing that I want is, I want to know exactly where that will leave our electric department.
I also want to see a repayment schedule for the water department, what it's going to mean monthly or yearly or how
Yeah,
we're going to
and
do it.
so I kind of put together a 3 and a 4 year, and this is just on a 1%, which again, it will likely be a little higher than that, so you can kind of see what that term would be on a monthly and yearly basis.
Because right now, what you told us here, what's in there, that's kind of been our goal to keep it at that. So,
It would drop that reserve somewhere between to like 1.7 million.
The electric department with the dam has some projects, that, we're working on towards. How does the loan impact that, or if something happened where we have to put something at the dam?
I don't think a $300,000 loan is going to have that level of impact. If it's that level of impact, we're well beyond just using our internal dollars for that.
knock on wood, since you've been here, things have been run smoothly, but I'm gonna tell you, something breaks at that dam, it's expensive, and there was a reason at one point that we wanted to at least keep that certain amount in there.
I will say this, agree, Madam Mayor. We do have the ability to borrow through WPPI $500,000 at 0% interest. So that is kind of like a reserve fund for us, I guess, if we want to go forward with this and something were to happen.
And I can bring back as well, I can bring back a couple different ideas of a different interest rate. I can talk to our bond counsel, get a little more idea of what those rates are currently at. At that meeting, I'd probably be looking for that determination.
I would want more information, because I can tell you, just with my experience being here, and like I said, knock on wood. But I mean, sometimes when one thing goes down there, it's continual. And, I think that I would actually rather go the bond way. I don't know how everybody else feels, but I'd have to see what it looks like if we go with the bond.
Yeah, I'd like to see the interest rate, the payback on the bond, and what extra it would cost the taxpayer versus just doing it internally with the election department. That's gonna mean something to me. You know, if we're gonna end up paying it 50 grand more, or 100 grand more for the project, then I'm more apt to say we roll the dice and do it in turn loan.
Okay, I'll get all that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd have to see all the numbers,
I
see
agree.
what the difference is. Anybody else have any comments?
No, I kind of agree with that. I just worry about projects and anything happening on the dam, because you guys have mentioned how costly it is.
I'm a big fan of being able to borrow that money internally and saving fiscal responsibility and saving repayment that way, as opposed to other ways that might actually cost more in the long run. I know it's a roll of the dice.
But we need to see those numbers.
We see, that's why,
Yep.
that's why a balance is there. And like you said, Councilmember Arnold, there is the 500,000 interest free. That could help. I mean,
Which is
if
a wonderful
something, I know Candy's probably got PTSD from some of that. You know, but then we're talking millions.
Yeah.
But when
And that is gonna be a loan anyway.
The other thing we were talking with the WBPI piece was to help with a couple of the large capital projects.
Yep.
in the
Yeah.
future.
For
So
sure.
If we lock up that money, then we don't have it available.
Getting out of bed's a risk every morning, right? I mean,
Right?
there's,
I know,
there's,
it's gonna be
yeah.
one of those.
Yeah, and it was, like I said,
Yeah, she lived through the worst.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and, it could happen again. You don't know. So that's why I'm not a big fan, and you go, well, that's what the money's there for? I don't think that's what the money's there for. Yeah, just a difference of opinion.
That's all.
Anything else?
So there's no action on that, you're just gonna come back and get us numbers, so we can look at it, okay.
All right.
What's Candy, real quick, what is the first meeting in November?
The 5th.
The 5th, okay, good.
Discussion items, amendment section 36-91 of the City of Norway Code of Ordinance Cross Connection.
So this is relating to the cross-connection project that we're going to be starting. Two things that the Hydro Corp offers or provides us, working with us, is review of our current ordinance for cross-connection. That's what this is here. In your packet, you can see on the back page what our current cross-connection ordinance is, and then their updated changes. And it just adds different new regulatory languages and just kind of bulks it up a little bit. This isn't really for an action tonight. This is just, since, it is an ordinance change, I wanted to get this out in front of everybody with the intention of we would have an actual resolution to amend this at the next meeting. It's not a zoning change, so it wouldn't necessarily require a public hearing. It would require a 15-day publication notice prior to enactment.
So do you want to put that out there and have us vote on it the next meeting?
Yeah, I'll bring this back at the November 5th meeting with an actual ordinance amendment. This is what I want you guys to start
Okay.
to see this, to understand it, let the community understand it before we move to an actual ordinance change. Again, the cross-connection is required by the state to do. Again, we have a cross-connection ordinance. This just improves it.
I
Okay.
guess in which way?
May I?
Yeah.
speaking more tonight than I have in a while. I know you love that, Mr. Morrow. If I could, one of the things I was looking for is a little bit, I took a look at this proposal. Basically what it's doing is putting some teeth into the cross-connection ordinance. We have one that prohibits cross-connections and does address it. And I remember working on it with Ray a couple of years ago, Ray Anderson. And this was recommended by the state and put in place. But this adds a little bit of meat to it in the sense that it gives a penalty if you don't allow our inspectors into the home or business to check for cross connections. And one of the things that I think the council needs to think about, maybe give some guidance, but I also want to say it out loud. With these cross connections, it's designed to, and the whole purpose of this is, I understand it, maybe Mr. Stoltman, make sure I'm understanding it properly, but it's to identify if there are cross connections which are backflowing contaminants or issues from businesses or homes into our water supply.
Correct.
So it's a safety thing. It's a safety of our water supply thing where people could get sick if somebody has a contaminated well that's hooked up inappropriately, or a business and it's backflowing into our water supply and causing issues. And I know it's been a bigger issue as we hear about different testing around the state. It's been a big push. But one of my question being, and I wanted to say all that to express how important it is, because it's the water safety of our community. But there's language in here that says if you do not allow the inspection or the inspector is allowed to go in and then find out if it's safe to drink or not, and then it gets shut off. You don't get water because it's protecting our system. And if you don't comply, it becomes a misdemeanor. There's fallout. And one of the things in here that it's asking the community or the council to put in is to set the amount of the fine and potential maximum jail time. Is it a 90-day misdemeanor? Is it a 93-day misdemeanor? Is it a 1-year misdemeanor? That's blank on this proposal. So the council, looking at this, I believe, council's purview. Now, I'm not going to provide, that's council's decision.
So if somebody unknowingly has your point, a contaminated well that's backflowing into our system, contaminated our water supply, we're going to throw them in jail?
No.
Okay, well, that's what I'm talking about.
No, and just to clarify, no, of course, and thank you for that question. No, that's not, I mean, frankly, that'd be a great defense. It's not intentional, it's not, it's a mistake.
If there's intent.
If there's intending, and that's identified that you're polluting the community's
knowingly,
water system.
Right, you're knowingly
trying to circumvent it, not allow us to inspect it, or it's inspected and you try to circumvent it, yeah, that's a criminal misdemeanor for standing in the way of the community's safety. So, for reference sake, guys, I mean, our criminal sanctions, our criminal, the low end is a 90-day, $100 fine, 90-day misdemeanor. I'm not a big fan of criminalizing things because I think all of a sudden you're criminalizing things. It's a fine line. However, one of the things we've seen, even with like blight, if you will, our property maintenance code, it's not criminalized, it's fines. So, it's a much bigger hammer, and I think the reason it's in here as a hammer is because we're talking about the community safety. So.
The thing is, it costs a lot to clean it up, hindsight afterwards, depending on what kind of contaminant it is. There's some that would be very costly for us to have to fix.
So that's something for discussion or provide some guidance. Again, the low end is 90 days, $100 fine, $500 fine, 93 days in jail, $1,000 fine, 1 year in jail. I don't think that's the intention of the council to necessarily start punishing folks in that manner. But we do have to make a decision and insert that into the ordinance, and I wanted to point that out. Just, I think any type of misdemeanor is it's a message. I don't know that it needs to be piled on to 1 year misdemeanors and et cetera, but $100 fine, 90 days in jail is the it's a maximum. It's not a.
Yeah, I'll say this. I mean, if you just go fines, right? Well, somebody says it's going to cost me $10,000 to fix it, or I could pay $1,000 fine a year for 10 years. If you don't put jail time with it. You know, you could have people that just say, I'll pay the fine, because it's cheaper for me to pay the fine than it is to fix the problem. So I do get that.
So we need to come up with a value amount in this ordinance, is that what you're
Well,
saying?
I wanted to point, because we're in the discussion phase here.
Yeah,
I
the
wanted-
bottom of it.
I wanted to
you'll see
just
that
bring it
there's-
up for council's attention. It's certainly something that we can discuss.
Well, it definitely has to be done.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
we're running into that with our regular meters. That people don't, and for
Yeah.
our system to work right, we need them all in.
Yes, I mean, the meter wise, yeah, once they're all transitioned to the same type, it certainly makes it more efficient
Efficient.
to do. And we have some that are just broken that, you know, obviously if they're broken, we can't get accurate reads.
You know, I'm not the big brother type backing guy with big government, right? But this is a public safety. This is a drinking water safety issue, and I think we need to put some teeth in this.
So just coming, before we can, at the next meeting, vote on it, we need to put a value amount in it?
Currently,
Is that how I'm reading this?
yeah, currently the proposed ordinance is,
Yep.
that was,
So-
and it's helpful. I mean, I read it and it looks
A
good.
way to come up with that value?
Well, I think Grant's kind
Is that
of
what
laying
you
it out there
said,
for us.
$100?
You got three options right now?
What we see in the misdemeanors is $100,
90.
The low end is $100 fine, 90, up to 90 days in jail.
Yeah,
Then you bump
That's the
up,
lower, and then
then you
it's
bump
based
up
on
to
the severity.
$500,
And 93.
up to $500 fine, 93 days in jail. And then the next one is up to $1,000 fine, 1 year in jail.
yeah, if it's all up to, I mean, why not go with 1,000 in 1 year? Because it's discretionary that way, as far as first offenders or second offenders or third offenders, you know? It's all up to.
Well, also note that in the language, each day, and I guess to be clear for the community, this ordinance is saying you have to allow upon reasonable notice and inspection, part one, and that if there is a cross-contamination or cross-connection, that we have the ability to cut off your water supply to help protect the community. And then if you violate that, that's when these things start kicking in. So it's not,
Yeah.
there's levels.
Right, there's a lot of-
And then it also says at the bottom, under the penalty provisions, folks, it does say, each day upon which a violation occurs is deemed a separate and additional violation for the purposes of this ordinance. So even if it was on the low end, $100, 90 days, each day can be an additional penalty, an additional offense.
And it's really sad that we have to do something like this, but like I said, a fine example is replacing the water meters.
Well, and exactly to that, I think listening to this council, everybody respects your castle is your home is your castle, right? We're all live in the UP and we love our property. And people don't like people, the government especially, city or otherwise, coming into your home. But this, you're talking about the community whole, the water supply.
Yeah, you choose to hook into a public, a shared public resource.
Right.
There's responsibility with that.
Right.
The only thing I would, like to mention is, we do, still have older members of the community with older residences that they might be in a cross connection and not know it. So the other side of that is, as a municipality, how do we assist them in getting it correct? Other than just knocking on the door saying, oh, go hire a plumber. Well, how can we help them also to that? Is there,
I mean, there's nothing in place for, assistance for specific, say, income levels, if you will. I'm not,
or just an avenue even, right, like a number or something that, or parts and pieces that these people can get through the city, or some kind of assistance that we can help through this process.
Yeah, like, maybe we have different numbers of different people who do that.
we can certainly provide assistance in that way of assisting in who would they turn to to solve this problem. I think the majority of people that are gonna have issues are industrial businesses. You know, the residential units, they get checked once every 10 years. Sprinkler systems, some boilers, you know, some of those, like I think I have a backflow preventer on.
I was gonna say,
my
most of this
boiler.
is done with backflow prevention.
So, you
So
know,
it's
we
not
could
usually
get
a
a,
huge number.
we can get a general cost estimate to you know, have a plumber install a backflow preventer for people so they know what they're getting into. We've discussed, you know, looking at the time frame to fix it. You know, we're not gonna have, I don't know how many spare parts on hand for backflow
Right.
preventers, but we certainly can provide every avenue for education and where to receive, you know, quotes and.
Well, yeah, and it doesn't even have to be the quote there, I think, because you never know, and depends who they go with. I mean, just some outreach of who they can get a hold of to get this
The
resolved.
license,
Understands what the situation is and what's gotta be done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you
not to be
need,
handing out business cards, but a
Right.
resource for
Yeah.
people to like, hey.
Educational stuff.
Some of them are simple fixes.
yeah. and
Most of
some-
them would be, most of them are just, you know,
Yeah.
adding that backflow preventer.
And if it's
But-
on the industrial level, that's a whole different game. That's part of the gig.
Real ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those are-
those, you know, the commercial ones, you know, they're inspected every 5 years to every year, depending on, you know, the type of industry they're in and their level of potential contamination.
Yeah, just an outreach, because otherwise, two of the girls in the office are gonna get a lot of phone calls on that.
Right.
So if we had, you know, some kind of outreach for people who run into that, especially if you don't expect it. A lot of people probably don't even know, and you
Oh,
might go
certainly.
in, you know?
Certainly.
Just in a nod to Rico's father, God rest his soul, I find it interesting, again, I'm showing my age, that this is, the acronym for this is CCCP,
I know, we've mentioned
the
that.
Cold War. Come on, really?
I know.
Soviet Union's gone, baby.
We left
Your
off the
dad loved
hammer
that
and
one.
the sickle.
I noticed it. I was gonna take the high road.
No, you gotta give a nod to old Lee.
And the residents need to know, this ain't something that we're just enforcing. They're making us do this.
They're making us do
It has
it.
to be done.
Yeah, we've had this on our books for a while. This is kind of a push to get in compliance with it.
Yeah, this is state mandated, and we're out of compliance, so it has to get done.
Grant, can the council have the discussion of fine and all of that at that next meeting and make that change in that proposed ordinance then? Because it won't get published until after that night.
Yes, that's fine.
Okay. If that's okay with the council, then.
Yeah.
Middle of the road.
So no motion though.
So, do I have this, again, in my head, so Wednesday, November 5th is our next meeting, so election day is Tuesday, the 4th?
Correct.
Yeah, that's why you're not gonna be here, buddy. Yeah, okay.
I
got
thought we
it.
already went through that.
I just wanted to confirm election day, damn it, Mrs. Mayor.
There's all sorts of science behind how much you need to teach and reteach before it actually.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm getting older now.
All that one fried.
Yeah.
Oh, that preservative.
Oh, no.
We'll move on to mayor council.
We have one more.
Oh, item number 2, adoption, updated
Don't be saying that
cross-connection control plan.
So this is this is a continuation from the last item. This again, just like the last one, we have a current, and they're both in here, a current resolution ordinance for our CCCP program. And again, part of the deal with HydroCorp is review our cross-connection control plan and provide us, sort of updates. What we have in their updates is a lot of, sort of when you get to your idea of informing the public, diagrams of what a cross-connection and backflow looks like, different types of inspection compliance notices, shut-off notices, various ways to respond to the homeowner. You'll see again, there's several inspection notices. Those are the big differences, explaining that, where it's coming from, how to get in hold of people. A lot of these will be HydroCorp in here because they're the ones that are going to be making contact, scheduling the inspections and everything. And they've even, said, yeah, some of this stuff can come across harsh, and they do it just to really drive home that we need to get in there and do these acts to check. And once they check, then it's up to the homeowner to solve the problem, and then we fill out the form of, is it been completed or not? But, so this is just like the other one. This is to get familiarized with and, bring it back at the next meeting for further review and potentially approval. So if you take a look at the current one, which is about halfway through compared to the other one, again, a lot of it's diagrams, sample letters, has the same, very similar, as the forms of how we fill out the backflow. Those are fairly the same, discussing testing, things of that nature. So, education, we have, there's a section on public education on things. So it's there for us to help provide a little bit to the community.
Any questions on that or comments?
Question, the cross-connection control program, there are going to be appointments made with the residents.
Correct.
to go in. Is there some education before that? In case
Yes.
people wanted to check their stuff?
Yeah, we'll have, education beforehand, whether it's everywhere or just to the, number of residents that they're going. We're not inspecting, this is a 5 or 10 year, and that's not even that won't even complete. That's how many they're gonna do. There's another half that we are gonna try to do ourselves. So this is a very long program to complete. But yes, there'll be several education components to it. Some provided directly from us, some given to us by HydroCorp. They make the reservations or the appointments at as much convenience to the homeowner as possible. And again, they're there just to inspect and inform the homeowner, and then it's another step for them to get in compliance.
Move on to council comments. Ricky, did you have anything tonight?
I have no comment.
Brett?
Other than just thanking the community for the support of the council, like I said, it's been a learning experience for sure. I encourage anybody that thinks they know anything about government to get involved in government because you learn a lot.
Oh, yeah.
But I'd like to thank all the council members as well. Thanks for serving, and good luck to you in the future.
Thanks.
Not going too far, and I'm going to continue on the projects that I'm currently working on. I'd also like to see all them through, and there's a couple others, but
Awesome.
won't be far away.
Thanks, Brett. Thanks for your service.
Thanks,
Thank
Brett.
you, sir.
Jeff?
Yeah, just want to say, great turnout over the weekend for Leif Erikson. It was good to see the community come out and support what I would feel is our signature, at least one of our signature events. Thank God we had decent weather for a change, right? So, again, just thank the community for coming out for that. And get out and vote on November 4th.
Rico.
Same thing with Leif Erikson, based on just the amount of vehicle traffic, people parking everywhere. It's a cool problem to have for a community our size, I would assume, I don't have hard numbers, but I would assume, attendance was good, and hopefully it made a good impact on our downtown businesses. So that's great. Once again, showcasing the cool stuff we have going on here. Yep.
I agree with Rico. I come downtown to get to the other side of town. I took a side street. There wasn't a place to park anywhere, both sides up and down. I feel like their turnout, like you said, weather permitting and having a few different things brought people in. And I'd like to thank the Leif Erikson Committee because they do work on this all year long, and without them, there would not be a Leif Erikson Day, and all the volunteers that come out to help get things done. I appreciate everything that everybody does for for our community. That's all I have. Dan?
Just again, thanks to Councilmember Kramer. Been a pleasure working with you, sir. And just to echo everybody else, yeah, Leaf Erickson was great. We had over 100 runners for a Leaf Run, which was a record for that. It did seem to be much more well-attended than before. I think every year we're getting a little more organized, a little better. We kind of continue to improve and shape that festival, which I would agree with Jeff. I think it is really one of our signature.
And the weather
the
makes a
weather,
big
yep.
difference.
You agree with that? We gotta control that for a second.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thanks to everyone who came out to that and helped out and volunteered.
Grant?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. No.
Okay. We're going to be going into closed session. We'll only go into closed session. We won't be voting on anything. We will come back out and adjourn. So do I have a motion to go into closed session for Act 15.268, closed section, Section 8, City Manager Evaluation?
Motion we go into closed session following Open Meetings Act 15.268, closed session, Section 8A, City Manager Evaluation.
Support.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Mr. Mararo?
Yes.
Mrs. Steigerwald? Yes. Mrs. Brewer?
Yes.